How is everyone doing out there? So I said once I got through February, once I got past the water park trip, I would be to weekly lives. So I want to say October of 2024, if I remember correctly, is when that's a little bit pre-surging sparks, post Twilight Masquerade starting to do its little travel upward. That's when my YouTube viewership got to where in a live stream I could hold 150 live viewers or so. And because of it, hey, it's like when something big is happening, you kind of lean in it, you lean into it, you pivot towards it, whatever it may be. So yeah, we are booming again. I have had live viewership up near 150 towards 200 live viewers above my typical 100 over the past couple of years. So I'm gonna go weekly. Last week didn't work out well because of the short week with the water park trip, but that was a really good time. And this week is a short week, slightly short week. Not traveling for pleasure. I think I will enjoy the trip, but it's going to be a business trip that will probably be quite enjoyable. And we're going to talk about it. We're going to pump it a little bit, but it's not only to my benefit. It will be to the benefit of the recipients of a PSA 10 Umbreon VMAX. English, not Chinese, not Japanese, the expensive one. Same thing for the Lovebirds. Lovebirds, Latios, Latias, Lati at sign S. Latios, Latias, GX tag team from Team Up. So we're gonna be ripping a box of Team Up. We're gonna be ripping boxes of Evolving Skies as we hit chases, grails. We unlock the giveaways on Friday's live stream. But within the first couple of minutes, I'm gonna play a little promo video that will tell you a little bit more information about it. Why have me do it here? Not lazy. Antiviral way. Why have me do it unedited in this fashion? Let's do the high edited video that we had someone make us through Fanatics. So yeah, you're gonna get the info for Friday stream. Did I? I was reading chat as I did that. Did I end it slightly early? I think I ended it slightly early. Oh no. No audio on the video? Oh man, I'm failing. I don't know why there's no audio coming through. Oh, because I have it in my OBS. So I'm live on YouTube right now. Usually I do it through OBS, but I'm doing it through StreamYard right now. So instead of doing it through my OBS, I'm gonna have to set this up where it plays through VLC Media Player as a shared screen. Let me see if I can do that really quickly. If I can't figure it out, we will bail. We will bail. But I think I can. Okay, I hear it in my ear now. Now, if I present my VLC Media Player, does this work? Let me know if this works. Let me know if you guys can hear this. I'll hear it now, too. I wasn't hearing it before. Is there no audio again? There's no way. Why would a screen not share with audio? You got to be kidding me. Settings, audio. No, so no sound on that either. Anyways, apparently you're not going to get the sound, but that is all the information there. Friday, February 27th, Pokemon Day, 3 p.m. Eastern. Team up with Ketchum Collectibles to evolve your collection. See what we did there? It's going to be a good time. I don't know why. I don't know why that doesn't work. But yeah, the main points, $30,000. I say it, PK says it, Ponga says it. It does bear repeating, I would say. So we are going to be live on Pokemon Day. And one thing that I kind of teased on Instagram, I don't know if you found your way here from, I guess I could link you. I posted it as a short recently. Why would this not have, I don't know why this wouldn't have shared the audio. So StreamYard shared screen with audio. Share screen. Oh, there is a thing. Also share system audio. We're going to run it back one time. Everyone pretend like none of this happened. Everyone pretend like we are still in the everyone pretend like we're only 1 minute into this live stream and I'm playing this for the first time. So present. Share screen. Share a window. Click the toggle to share system audio. Here we go. This should be it right here. We should have it. Be careful sharing screen audio. If you have a guest, they will hear themselves. We're going to see what happens. Good luck. Good luck me. Good luck everyone.
We will be streaming live
in New York City.
It's a 30 for 30.
We are giving away $30,000.
$30,000.
There'll be $30,000 of giveaways for 30 years of Pokemon.
And not only are we going to be doing a ton of huge giveaways, we're going to be chasing a PSA 9.
$10,000.
Shadowless base set Charizard.
All you have to do is show up, be there live in the stream.
Friday, February 27th.
And team up with Ketchum Collectibles and Fanatics Live to evolve your collection today.
Boom. There we go. Dan figured it out. So $30,000 for 30 years. Shout out to Fanatics Live for doing that. Hopefully you didn't hear 90s country music playing in the background. But yeah, 30 years of Pokemon. We are celebrating the birthday of Pokemon on Friday at 3 p.m. in New York City. Me, PK, Ponga will all be there. And how the $30,000 stacks up. $10,000 team up box. You're welcome, team up box investors. We are ripping that box on Friday. You're welcome, Evolving Skies investors. $2,500 Evolving Skies boxes. We're ripping 2 of them on Friday. So that's $15,000. Half of it we're gonna turn into how much? Let me know in the chat. How many dollars of pulls from those $15,000 of boxes do you think we will get? Whatever we get, hopefully we get a Lovebirds, hopefully we get a Moonbreon, Rayquaza VMAX, hopefully we get everything. Gengar Mimikyu, otherwise it'll be dark. How many dollars will we turn the $15,000 into? That's half the giveaway. The other half the giveaway, Lovebirds PSA 10, about $10,000. Moonbreon, about $3,500. That leaves $1,500. We're going to have some Ascended Heroes ETBs. We'll be ripping, and I'll tell you shortly who we're going to be ripping those with. There's going to be a very special guest, 2 very special guests. One that we'll be ripping Ascended Heroes with, maybe some other product. And I honestly don't know. I think we'll be giving away the hits from Ascending Heroes. Whatever the case may be, I will have an additional $1,500 worth of stuff to give away to round this stuff up to $30,000. The guy that we're ripping the Ascended Heroes packs with, maybe he wants to keep the chases. Maybe those are for him. I honestly don't know. But I am working on something. Maybe someone else is working on it for me. We'll see what happens there. But we are going for gold. If you saw my Instagram story that I shared 15 minutes ago, we are going for gold in Ascended Heroes. In Ascended Heroes, you've got oh man, let me. I haven't opened much Ascended Heroes myself. I have not hit any gold cards myself. But there's a Charizard in there. What else is there? There's 2 gold cards. Mega Charizard Y and Mega Dragonite. So we are going for gold with a gold medal Olympian. United States of America, an American gold medal Olympian. And timely, because Milan just happened. I'm a big sports guy. Not as big as I was back in college. I used to watch all the games, all the football games every weekend. And I'm pretty deep into it still. I watch more live sports than I watch TV shows. I listen to more Poke podcasts than I do either of those. But I'm pretty big into sports, and like, give me a World Cup, give me the Olympics. It's just some of the best TV out there. I watched a lot of curling the past few weeks, but it's not Winter Olympics, so it is the current fastest man in the world. Let me put that out there and see if anyone guesses who the guest number one is. Who is the current fastest man in the world? He won, I believe, 200 meter gold in Paris, was it? But he's an 8-time world champion gold medalist in the 200 meter as well. Noah Lyles. Yes. I don't know if Google was used there. I don't know if ChatGPT, Alexa, I don't know if any of those things were used. But Noah Lyles. We will have Noah Lyles in the Fanatics Live studio. And one thing I mentioned to PK and Ponga, there's 3 ATBs. Maybe he'll rip all 3. Maybe we'll each rip one of them. Well, I guess I need 4 for that. Maybe I'll bring a 4th one. But I'm going to be like turbo ripping them so that I can do the thing. I'm going to do the thing. I'm going to write like, I was faster than the world's fastest man. And then in very fine print in the parentheses with the asterisk at ripping packs. Hopefully me, PK Ponga, will be able to enter a competition of speed with the world's fastest man this Friday. So we're going live at 3 p.m. We're going to do hours of instant rips. We're going to be doing many things, ripping, team up, ripping, Evolving Skies. And I believe 6 p.m. Eastern. So a few hours after we get the things rolling, after we get the whole show on the road, Noah Lyles will be hopping in and joining us. So we're going to have, don't forget to turn the sound down. Thankfully, when me, PK Ponga, Noah Lyles, and one more special guest that I'll talk about next, when we're all in the studio in New York City, I will not be touching any buttons. We will have masters, PK and Ponga, clicking the buttons to open the instant rips and do the whole showmanship, streamer part of that. I will just be, I'll just be there. I'll just be hanging out, having a good time. And how much to see Dan race Noah down the streets of Manhattan. One thing that I did too, because of my technical difficulties that you saw, I'm in StreamYard right now. So I used to do this in OBS with like a custom thing to highlight my questions. But now I'm in StreamYard. So yeah, highlighting works. It works in a different way slightly than it did in OBS. But I should be able to always highlight messages, which is great. I'm going to do my best at being live and answering all questions. As always, ask all your questions. I will answer them all before I end the live stream. But I don't think there's going to be like pre or post stream interactions with Noah Lyles. We're going to be live from 3 p.m. to probably at least 8 p.m. Eastern, maybe a 5-hour live stream, maybe longer. And if something like that could happen, it would be hilarious. One bit of content that I've been watching actually lately on YouTube or listening to mostly, but watching a little bit. It's been coming up in my feed because I enjoy the Olympics and my phone knows that, my Google knows that. So I watched something recently where it was like an average Joe competing with the gold medal curling team from 4 or 6 years ago. Or yeah, 4 or 6 years ago. It could have been 6 years ago. It would have been 4 years ago because every 4 years is the winter. Every 4 years is the summer intertwined. So every 2 years we have an Olympics of some kind. But I believe it was 4 years ago that there's a John U.S. curling Olympic team. John Schuster or something. I want to say was the name of one of them. But anyways, U.S. didn't win this year. But yeah, I watched like average Joe speed skating versus like an Olympic speed skater, curling, all those different things. Really, really funny to watch. I don't think we'll get that, but we might get the world's fastest man, maybe racing, ripping a couple packs with PK Ponga and Dan. So that'll be a good time. I'm excited for that. So Noah Lyles will be on from 6 to 6:45-ish, 6 to 6:30, 6:45 is the target. We're gonna go for gold. We're gonna rip some Ascended Heroes with a gold medal Olympian, gold medal world champion 8 times, I believe. And we're gonna try to pull the gold Dragonite or the gold Charizard. So that'll be fun. And then later in the night, I believe from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m., and I think it'll kind of like cap off the stream. We have I think most people will know. She kind of went viral in our Poke podcast space a few months ago because she posted something to her Instagram story and then she deleted it. She signed a bunch of, and somebody, before I say the name, somebody's gonna guess it in chat with the way that I'm teasing it. But she signed a bunch of like signature things that get put on cards. So people thought like, is Pokemon Tops having a collaboration? Whatever it is. Yeah, Brown CLM guessed. The voice of Ash Ketchum. There are 2 voices of Ash Ketchum as far as I know. I don't know that there's a third yet. But Veronica Taylor used to do it, and I believe Sarah Natacheni has been doing it for going on 2 decades now. So she's the second voice of Ash Ketchum in the current one. So yeah, we're gonna be hanging out with me, PK Ponga, for the first few hours. Then we're gonna bring in gold medal Olympian, gold medal world champion Noah Lyles to go for golden Ascended Heroes. And then we're going to bring in, I was shocked. I DM'd Sarah Natacheni, had never DM'd her before. I met her for a very brief amount of time in like the after hours at some establishment at one of the Collecticons a couple of years ago. I might have said hi in passing, not really too much interaction there, but it'll be cool to be able to be on stream, hang out a little bit. I shot her a DM on Instagram and I said like, hey, looking forward to the stream Friday. I heard you might be popping in. Is there anything you'd want to rip? Is there anything you'd want me to bring? Like I can see what I can do. Short notice. But she said red Ash, kind of like the video game equivalent of Ash. Anything that has red in it. So I memory serves me, like Cosmic Eclipse is one of them. Lost Origin has him in the trainer gallery in the Pikachu cards a little bit. That one I had to look up. I couldn't remember that one. And then Unbroken Bonds also has some reds cards as well. So I'll probably bring some of those packs, and maybe we'll be ripping between 7 and 8. We'll be doing the instant rips as they sell, and then we'll also be ripping some Lost Origin, Unbroken Bonds, Cosmic Eclipse with Sarah Natacheni. So that'll be a lot of fun. I'm really looking forward to the stream Friday. I go down Friday morning on the train, and we're gonna hang out. We're gonna hang out all afternoon, evening on the live stream, and then yeah, gonna hit the town a little bit. Hopefully celebrate what is a massive live stream. And then I've got to shout it out too. Beerski will be live before our mega stream and after our mega stream. He's gonna be ripping. So the same way we're doing team up and Evolve Guys, we're gonna rip them. Not so you don't have to buy anything to win. $30,000 of items given away, 15,000 in items, and then 15,000 in sealed. It may turn into a slightly smaller number when we give it away, the value of what we give away, but we're giving it all away. And when someone hits a chase or a grail in the instant rip, that will unlock us ripping some physical packs, and then we'll give those away. But you don't have to be the buyer. So you don't have to buy a $500, $1,000, $250 instant rip. When someone buys one and we hit something big, that will unlock a giveaway for something. And then maybe we'll do 10, 20 chases, whatever the number is. At some point later in the stream, later towards the end, we will give away the 2 slabs themselves. So really looking forward to the stream, the night. It's going to be a good time. I'm so excited for it that I had to do a bonus live stream. I'm back to weekly live streams because we're booming that hard right now. So yeah, ask me your questions. If you have any and all questions, as I always answer them. I wanted to do my little self-promo there for the first 20 minutes, 5 minutes of technical difficulties, 15 minutes of actual good advertising. But yeah, Beerski will be live before and after. And then instead of team up in Evolve Guys booster boxes, he's going to have 151 loose packs, which are getting more expensive. All the singles are going crazy. If you're in the PokeTube investing space, 151 is booming right now, going out of print relatively soon. So yeah, every time a chaser or grails hit, Beerski's going to rip a pack of 151 and just give away all the hits. No purchase necessary. Just give away all the hits. If you're there, click the follow and enter giveaway button, and good luck. Maybe he'll hit a god pack and give a god pack away. Maybe he'll hit the Charizard, the Blastoise, the Venusaur. Who knows? He'll hit whatever he hits and he'll give it all away. And there'll be some big chases in the instant rips themselves if you're interested in buying any of those. 100% EV. So I know the way a lot of people feel about instant rips and things of that nature, digital mystery packs. But when you rip something like this, I wish Team Up was 100% EV. We are going to rip this box, and we are going to turn a $10,000 booster box into $1,000 worth of singles if we do well. maybe significantly less than that. Hopefully not. Hopefully we hit a Lovebirds and it grades a 10 and it grades a Black Label, and hopefully we make money for the person who wins that giveaway. But who knows? Likely not. On average, not. Instant rips, you buy $1,000 instant rip pack. The average value is $1,000. The floor, and you can look. It's fully transparent. You can look and you can see what the chase is, what the grails, what the base cards are, and you can see what the floor is. You can see that the average is 1,000, and you can see that the grail is 5,000 or 10,000, whatever it may be, and the floor might be 300. You might have a chance to lose 70% of your money, which is almost a certainty when you're ripping like physical sealed product. So that's there if you're interested. If you're not, hang out. Chat, like we'll be engaging with the chat. We'll be talking to me, BK Ponga, Noah Lyles. I saw somebody in here too. Where'd it go? Oh yeah, Matthew M777 said no way, no Lyles on the stream. As a track fan, that's awesome. Love to see the overlap. I'm not like a huge track and field fan myself. I wouldn't know who Noah Lyles was had he being completely open and honest. I wouldn't have known who he was had he only won 8 world championships. I don't engage with the world championships of track and field, but Olympics. When I heard the name pitched from Fanatics that like, hey, we're trying to get Noah Lyles, instantly, I couldn't have told you what year, what city, what medal, what event, but I'm like, I've definitely heard that name. And then I looked him up and I watched a couple interviews, and he seems like a cool guy. He likes Pokemon. He runs really fast. I'm excited. I'm excited to hang out with him on Friday. But yeah, Noah Lyles, like the name was there. The name was there for sure. I watch a lot of Olympics when they're on. Some of my favorite content to consume of all kind. Live sports is S tier, and the Olympics is S tier within that subset of S tier. So yeah, let me definitely not shaving the beard till the boom ends. We'll see. We'll see. Not gonna shave it entirely. But it'll probably be trimmed though. Tyreek is definitely not faster than Noah. No way. Maybe in full pads, to be fair. Full pads decked out on a football field, having to catch a pass, maybe. But in the 200 meter, I mean, 8 times world champion. I know Tyreek has got some wheels on him, but he's and I believe so. Again, knowing some Olympic lore, Usain Bolt, fastest of all time, I believe, for the 200 and the 100. Noah Lyles has the current world champion, I believe, what Olympics was it? I'm going to verify before I say the wrong one. So 2024 Paris, he won the 100 meter gold. He has, I want to say he has the 3rd fastest 200 meter time of all time behind Usain Bolt and then some other guy from Jamaica. Usain Bolt, when he was doing his thing, being the world's fastest man ever, he was definitely this mentions that he's a fan, has been seen carrying Yu-Gi-Oh cards during competition. We're gonna have to work on that. Noah Lyles, his Wikipedia page says that he is also an anime fan and has been seen carrying Yu-Gi-Oh cards during competitions. We're gonna have to set him up with some Pokemon cards to be carrying around during his competitions. Forget Blue Eyes White Dragon. Forget Exodia pieces I'm familiar with. Forget all that stuff. We're gonna get him a Gold Dragonite, Gold Mega Charizard Y. Hopefully we'll get him both, and he can be sporting those around. Maybe he'll put him on a big chain and run a race with a big chain of PSA 10 Mega Charizard Y gold card. But yeah, really looking forward to that. And then last little bit of self promo, I promise. Saturday after Friday, it's gonna feel like, oh, you guys are cheaping out on us, but we're giving away on Saturday $2,500 of various single sealed slabs, Fanatics Live credits, whatever it may be, and we are auctioning $100,000 of items. We are $1 auctioning on Fanatics. We are doing a Sumbreon. We are doing a Moonbreon, started at $1. We are doing just absolutely obscene cards. We're doing a PSA 9 half art Mario Pikachu. We're not doing the $30,000 PSA 10 full art Mario Pikachu. We're doing the PSA 9 half art We're doing another. We did it a month or two ago. A PSA 9 first edition, Dark Charizard Hollow from Team Rocket. I want to say last time we did it, it was $1,200. My sheet right now tells me it's $2,100. So whoever won that last, probably for 85-90% of market a month or two ago, the card is now almost doubled. The card is up to $2,100 now. Absolutely crazy. We have a PSA 10 Phantasmal Flames Mega Charizard EX. We have Cosmic Eclipse, ADP, Arceus, Dialga, Palkia. We have Scream Promo, Psyduck, Scream Promo Eevee. We have 151 Charizards, so much stuff. Lugia V's from Silver Tempest, so many amazing cards, all auctioned in a 30-second auction with extended bidding on a Fanatics live stream. So that's on Saturday. $2,500 in giveaways, $100,000 in $1 star auctions. Whatever they end, they end. Evolving Skies booster boxes included. We're going to dollar auction Evolving Skies booster boxes. We're going to dollar auction Ascended Heroes ETBs cases. I actually have Holon Phantom booster packs. We have Holo Guarantee Japanese base set, like heavy base set Japanese heavy booster packs. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be absolutely insane. $30K for 30 years. And as I mentioned, Bierski's going to be doing like a pre-show, potentially a post-show, but I'm not entirely sure. We're going to be ending our stream around 8 p.m. And we might have 1,000 viewers. We might have several hundred viewers. Hopefully, Bierski, Grimer, Spat, hopefully somebody will be live for us to raid all those hungry viewers into. And hopefully they go late into the night with the instant rips. But yeah, we will see. As I always mention, ask your questions. Please, if you can do a stop sign emoji, if you can do a big question, all in caps lock, yell at me. Dan, I have a question. I will star them in StreamYard and I will get back. I will get back to them eventually and I will answer all questions. Noah been ducking Tyreek in a race for like 3 years now. Is that actually something that's like happening? Is he being challenged on social media or something? I'm not familiar with that lore, but that's funny. That's interesting. Are we in a bull market? Yes, we are in a bull market. Tyler Rohn bought a 002 PCGP Japanese Charizard last month, and it's already like doubled in price. Yes, we are booming. I just sold a card. I showed it on my Fanatics, on my Instagram. Sorry, I posted it earlier today. $60,000 for a glossy. I'm familiar with the card, but I was not familiar. I thought I was familiar with the card, but I was clearly not that familiar with the card. This is going to be a terrible way to show it, but I'm going to show you my phone screen. $60,000. $60,000 confirmed paid. It was paid. I'm netting out the consignor $57,000 on a $60,000 sale, 95% payout. A 1999 Japanese promo, Ivy Pikachu, a glossy one with a gray star. So it's like a Pop 19, but $60,000 and it was paid. Yeah, wild sale. I believe Fanatics Live is USA only. So you'll need someone with a US phone number to register an account. You'll need someone with a US address to receive the giveaway shipment. But sort that out and you can be a part of the $30,000 chase. Really looking forward to winning the beer stein. Yeah, you've got Schultz. You've got Schultz standing over there, and you got Dooley's eyes just leering over the top of the Ascended Heroes box. Peak says, my stream with Coyote ends as soon as you start. I'll raid all 27 people to you. Hashtag just doing my part. Appreciate you, Peak. Yeah, Noah Lyles and Sarah Natacheni. Very, very excited for our special guests. Chemical engineer, former chemical engineer, not audio engineer. Absolutely. I'm going backwards in chat to get through the questions, and then I will. We had a Usain Bolt guest. We did have Noah Lyles correctly guessed. We had Michael Phelps guest, but not Michael Phelps. We did have a LeBron James guest as well. Let's see. So I'm going through where I had the audio issues. I think I'm fully caught up with questions. I'm going to be better about starring them as I go, and then we will be good to go. So I live in upstate New York near Syracuse. We did not get 2 feet of snow. I went to the water park, which was in Fitchburg. So I went to shout out to the Great Wolf Lodge. Family had a great time. It was a really good time. We bought all the add-ons as you have to do. The kids got like their Magic Quest wands, and they were able to go around casting things and defeating dragons. And my son lost his wand early on, and then we ended up getting it later. So he had the wand to take home, but he didn't do all the things. And I helped my daughter. My daughter was doing the things, and she was enjoying the whole Magic Quest thing. She became a master magi. We defeated all the things, and we did everything. And she opened a chest that most kids couldn't open with their wand because they weren't trained to be a master magi. That took a long time. That took a long time, but it was a good time. They had a rock wall thing. Day 1, I tried climbing the rock wall, and I asked them, I'm like, there's like 5 rock walls. Where's the hardest one? Where's the second, third hardest one? They're like, hardest, second hardest, third hardest. I go straight to the second hardest one. Boom. First try, all the way to the top. Then I go to the hardest. I'm like, I'll use the second hardest as a warm up, and then I'll do the first hardest. I did not make it up the hardest one. I was gassed after going up. These things were maybe 25 feet high. You strap in. Once you get to the top, you jump off and you kind of like rappel down, whatever. It was cool, but I was gassed. I was gassed. I didn't have the grip strength. The main thing about what made the hardest one harder than the second hardest one was a lot of the things were inverted. So a lot of the grips, you could get like your whole hand in on the second hardest one. They were spaced decently, but like I'm 6'4" and my reach is very long. There was just nothing good to grip on the expert wall, and I failed. And I'm like, I'm going to come back and I'm going to beat that this weekend. The final day, the second to last day, I took a day gap in between. So Thursday night I failed. Friday I took the day off. And then I just did the ropes course. I did the zip line. I did some other things with my niece and nephew. My kids didn't want to try the ropes course. But anyways, I went back and I bested it on Saturday. I went back and I summited the expert one. So that was great to persevere. All that ranting, all that rambling about the 2 feet of snow thing. We were out in Fitchburg. Then we have a family friend who plays college basketball at Boston College. And we watched her game on Sunday, and the blizzard warning started at like 7 p.m. So we were leaving westward from Boston at like 5 p.m. I think the blizzard watch started at 4 p.m., but the snow was supposed to start flying at like 8 p.m. So we had friends that were flying out of Boston at 7. They made it out just before the storm. Some hunkered down and stayed till Tuesday, Wednesday, whatever. But we drove west and we beat the snow. We didn't see any snow on the drive home. We got 2 inches of snow maybe at home. Parts of New Jersey, parts of Massachusetts, like places that are not meant to deal with 2 feet of snow. We get that every couple of years. We get a storm where we get a foot or 2 of snow, and we deal with it fine. But they were not ready for it. It's a lot more difficult in the places that got it. But hopefully everyone made it through that fine. I didn't really have to deal with it. So I think I made it through all the old questions. Now I'm going to make sure I didn't miss any new questions. Are we booming again or still? We are booming again and still, and I don't know when, if ever, it will end. Here we go. Only 60K seems cheap. What's does he mean 30K? 30K like the giveaways? I don't know what did I say something about 60K? Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. But yeah, Mr. ZNG Emporium, make sure you get in there. Follow the stream, like, subscribe, follow, do all the good things, enter the giveaway. You can win one of these that you can just degen into your eBay auction and get all the money. Mason's here too. Love to see it. I'm starting a couple more questions, then I'm going to work my way through the questions. When will the real boom start? How can we boom any harder? We can boom harder by joining Dan, PK Punga on Fanatics Live on Friday. Special guest appearance, Noah Lyles. Special guest appearance, Sarah Natacheni. We can boom harder by all going and all entering the giveaway. and a $3,000, $3,500 card, a $10,000 card. That is how we can boom harder together. Be there. I can guarantee we are currently booming. Yes. Okay, a couple more things. Dan couldn't climb the Weenie Hut Cheaters rock wall. Oh, the glossy Pikachu. Yes, my mind is everywhere. I was at the water park again in my mind. Great Wolf Lodge was a great time. We are booming. We are booming so hard. That's how hard we're booming. That I showed you a $60,000 confirmed paid sale on my phone, and I forgot about it. I'm already on to the next one. Who is consign today? Who is going to consign the next $60,000 card? The high watermark has been set. Consign today. Consign today. We are booming like we have never boomed before. It is always a good time to sell. Will Sarah be speaking as Ash the whole time? I'd imagine not. I went to her Instagram to show my kids earlier tonight. I wanted to just show them like, hey, I'm gonna be on a live stream and I'm gonna be hanging out with and ripping some packs with the voice of Ash. And I went to her Instagram and I was scrolling trying to find a reel where she was talking as Ash, and I couldn't find one. I ended up going to YouTube and I found something where she like talked about how to do voice acting and all that, how they do the voiceovers. So I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to be that's probably what she gets all the time. Say this, say that in Ash's voice. I mean, in a way, it would be cool. It would be cool to get her shouting my kids out as Ash. That would be something they would really enjoy. But I don't know that I'm going to be that guy to ask the question, to ask them her to do the thing that she's always asked to do. Oh yeah, and the video that we watched, one of the things that we saw, she does Ash's mom, and she does like 50 different Pokemon that were listed. It was this Instagram reel that was just listing all the things that she does, and it was insane. Got to get her to say in Ash's voice something about booming. That would be awesome. Got to ask her to say, Pikachu, I choose you. Got to be the 10 millionth person to do that. Oh, was PK hitting some big stuff tonight in instant rips? I didn't even check. Sometimes I have the back end of it opened, keeping an eye on things as they're going. But I did not do that earlier tonight. Let me pop that open so I can kind of see. Dan forgetting about the 60K sale already. He's definitely a registered flex offender. That is wild. Oh man. I had to make sure I said that very carefully. Basic was that guy. Basic said I asked her to do it once and she did. Presumably you were in line at one of the Collecticon things, I would imagine. But yeah, as always, ask your questions in chat. I will answer them. As always, I'm going to go through right now and start answering them. If we boom to the max the next few months, would you rather have more liquidity or more sealed? Porque no los dos. Why not both? I would rather have more of everything. I am. Let me put my hot buy list up. I need to be better about flashing that every time I go live. My current hot buy list is showing the old fisherman one. But yeah, here's the current one. So I'm currently buying. I am buying PSA 9 and PSA 10 slabs, and I'm also buying PC ETBs, XY, Sun, Moon, Sword, Shield collection boxes. I'm buying them at 80%. If you've got the goods, if you've got like $1,000 plus slabs, $2,000 plus slabs, if you've got Moonbryons, DM me. 80% is like across the board on just about any of them. I might pay 85, 90% on the right ones. I'm buying all those packs. So for context, on my website, there's a buy list tab. I'm always buying every pack. I'm always buying every pack basically out there. Mostly from Sword Shield to current, but even further back I'll buy for the right price. I think my website goes back to XY base for pack prices pulled from TCG Player. Once you get older than that, TCG Player is not amazing for pricing those packs. These are the ones that I'm paying more than 80% on, though. So these ones I need more. I want them more. I need them more, whatever. And then Sword Shield and Scarlet Violet booster cases, I currently have from this post on Monday, two days ago, I have over $50,000 of new Scarlet Violet and Sword Shield era booster cases. I am YOLOing a little bit. I say right here, SV1 to SV5. but I'm paying 85% on some destined rivals booster cases. Are those for long term? Are those for the pallet? No. Those are going to be a very short term speculative flip. I'm going to pay 85%. The consigner gets a guaranteed 85% payout. They ship to my PO box. I have a UPS address for my PO box as well. They ship there, and all the risk is taken away. Full insurance to the full market value of the package. Once it's shipped with signature tracking, I get it. You enclose a slip that says, "Hey, this is Bob. This is whoever." And we were talking on Instagram. We were talking on Discord. Here's my handle, whatever it may be. And here's my Zelle. Here's my PayPal friends and family. Here's my ACH. Here's my wire. And I pay you out. I pay you out most times it's same day. Sometimes it's next day, depending on when it lands in the PO box or whatever. But instant liquidity, it's a win-win. Because like and sometimes I lose money. Sometimes I buy something at 85%. It dips 5 or 10%. I send it to DC Sports for 95% payout above $1,000 and a slightly poor performing auction. And I lose a little bit of money. But on average, it's a numbers game. If I buy $100,000 worth of stuff at 85%, I spend 85 grand. I send it all to DC Sports, or I send what I'm going to send to DC Sports. Sometimes I set some of it back. I know I have some Silver Tempest. I have some Temporal Forces. I have some things that I might add a couple to the pallets. But I send that all to DC Sports or wherever, Golden to consign, and I do it on my risk. Sometimes I make a little bit. Sometimes I lose a little bit. But on average, if I can clip 5% doing that, and the person who sells to me doesn't, like with Golden, some of the stuff that I sent, I was waiting for a certain auction. I was waiting for the Logan Paul auction. A month to get it sold, paid out. Even with DC Sports, it's a week or two to get it listed. It's a 7-day auction, and then it's waiting to get paid out. Maybe it goes unpaid. Maybe it has to get listed again. Sometimes it's a month to 2 months to get paid. So you can have 85% today of a known fixed number that we agree upon, or you can have 95% of some unknown number at some unknown time in the future. Just getting into like why someone would sell to me when you could consign for 95%. Same thing with slabs. I buy slabs every day, every week that are 2,400 plus that I can sign for 95%. I buy those all the time for 85, 90%. Well, Dan, why would someone sell to you for 85 to 90 when they could consign with you for 95? Well, the certainty, the time frame. Sometimes people need the money quicker. Sometimes people want the money quicker. They don't necessarily need it, but they want it to move into some play, whatever it may be. So the options that you have, the liquidity that we have in this market is just obscene. The fact that you can choose between 85% guaranteed right now upfront, cash equivalent, or 95% waiting a few weeks or a month. It's amazing. How much for lamb chops if you shave the beard? One thing that I was thinking about doing, when I had the hair a few weeks ago, when my hair was getting long, I was contemplating for like a day or two revolving around a live stream, having a mullet. Mullets, I don't know if it's because I live in small town upstate New York. I don't know if it's a thing like globally, nationwide, whatever. Or maybe it's just an upstate New York thing. Maybe it's whatever. But mullets, like when I go pick up my kids from school, when I go to a school function, when I go out in public, there are kids rocking mullets, and they look glorious. Business in the front, party in the back. I should have done it. I wish I did it in hindsight. If and when I trim this, I might trim it in some, like I've never done just the mustache. I've never done just the beard with no mustache. When I trim this, I might do something interesting with it. We'll see though. We'll see. Maybe I'll, I wouldn't do it for me, but I watch a lot of RuneScape content. Mr. Mammal is one of my favorite content creators. Every year he does a charity stream for St. Jude's. He's a big time streamer, and I think he raises 50 to 100 grand most years, or maybe 20 to 50 grand, some big number. He'll shave off his eyebrows, he'll dye his hair, he'll shave his hair, he'll the hair glue, like on the 4-year-old virgin, where he did his chest hair and he became a man-o'-lantern. Why can't I think of what that's called? Anyways, he'll have his wife like shaving his head and doing the hair removal thing on his armpits and whatever. And it's it's a pretty funny, entertaining stream, and it raises tens of thousands of dollars for St. Jude's child cancer research, all that stuff. I thought about like, hey guys, here's a bounty, here's a number. If you guys donate this number, not to me, I don't want it. If you guys donate this much money to St. Jude's or to breast cancer research or whatever, I would shave my head in some weird way or do something funny with a beard or rock a mullet for a couple of weeks, or we'll see. I'm gonna leave that. I'm gonna leave that out there. Spat says, shave the beard and the boom's over. Don't you dare. Brad says, do the mullet next time. Can you pay an old back zoo? Yes. You need to be able to receive pallets because I will likely have to pay pallets to do that. But yeah, I thought about doing that. The nano influencer, the femto influencer, pico influencer. I forget all my science is leaving my brain. 10 to the minus 15th, whatever that is. All my minimal YouTube following. I'm not sure I could even get a $50 donation towards some good cause to do something funny with the hair. But we'll see. Maybe. What's more difficult? Chemical engineering or audio engineering? Clearly, audio engineering, as I've demonstrated. Dan, can you give me financial advice on what snowblower to get? I absolutely can. So my electric one that does up to a foot of snow didn't cut it. I am a proud owner. I want to say I paid $1,500 or $1,600. I have an Aaron's Deluxe 30. Aaron's is I believe I'm pronouncing it correctly, but it's ARIENS. Aaron's Deluxe 30. It is it's electric start. I've only used that a couple times. It pulls over really easy, except when it's like sub-zero. A couple times I've had to plug it in to get it to crank over. But I have a driveway. It's 200 feet to my garage, and then it's 100 more feet to my back garage. Whole thing is paved driveway. So I have a 300-foot long driveway, and at its widest spot, it's like 4 or 5 cars wide. 4 to 5 cars wide. Most of it, though, it balloons out by my front garage to go around it and go to the back garage. But how many square feet was it? I want to say it was 5,000, 6,000 square feet. 300 feet by 20 feet would be 6,000 square feet. So I want to say it was about 6,000 square feet. That's good size. I mean, a lot of people, that is their house is on 6,000 square feet. They're on a 6,000 square feet lot. That's my driveway. If we get a foot of snow, I can do my driveway in 20 minutes with that snowblower. It's self-propelled, walk behind. 30 minutes maybe. Most times though, when we get 3 to 4 inches of snow or less, I'm doing the whole driveway in 15, 20 minutes. It's actually insane. It blew my mind when I got it. I was contemplating paying somebody to plow my driveway, all that stuff. I was contemplating getting like a little mini tractor with a snowblower on the front or a blade on the front. This thing is fantastic. Some of the best $1,600 I've ever spent. We are booming way too hard to be shoveling snow. Mullets are low-key popular here in Texas. How many times in your life do you get the opportunity to give yourself a mullet? Probably dozens, but yes, you should have done it in hindsight. Yes. So I cut my own hair. It's probably fairly obvious. I cut my own hair, and then I do it with the clippers, wall clippers, one of the best $30 purchases in my life. I bought it 20 years ago, 15 years ago, whenever it was. And I go over the whole thing with a 2, and then my wife comes in and she finishes it up, gets anything that I missed. And she misses stuff a lot of times too. A week later, a day later, I'll be pulling out long ones, whatever. But where was I going with that? Oh yeah. Sometimes when I'm in the bathroom cutting my own hair, I'll run one down the middle, and I'll be like, I probably have a couple of pictures on my phone where I just ran one down the middle, where I ran down the sides, and I left a little mohawk somewhere in my phone buried. I probably have a couple of pictures like that, but I need to, next time I have the opportunity, I need to rock it for at least a couple of days. I will have to have Pokey Prophet on at some point. I forget when I came across his content, but I've been he makes much more viral content than me. He has a lot more subscribers than me. He makes like daily videos. He does the investing thing, TCG player charts, all that stuff. Much more like mainstream Pokemon business investing type YouTube stuff. But yeah, I went into his paywall thing. I don't think he does it through Patreon, but I went into a little private Google call thing with a handful of people that he recorded for his following. I forget what he calls it, but yeah, if anyone's interested, I have a Patreon link down below. Grayson PokeProfit has a his own version of that as well. It was a cool conversation that I did on that, and it'd be cool to have him on a PokeFlips or have him on this channel. One thing that I mentioned that in the future, non-PokeFlips weeks, I think I'm going to do it. I'm going to do having guests on. Part of the reason I'm using StreamYard today is so that in the future I can have guests on more easily, because doing it through OBS and having to do it through Discord and desktop audio, and it's a mess. I've done it before, but it's a mess. It's yes, I said that as I said it. Not something I take shame in. I take great pride in cutting my own hair. Dan's driveway is the size of my neighborhood. But yeah, PokeProfit someday on PokeFlip, someday on this channel. It'll definitely have to happen. It'll be nice to be able to get through guests more frequently, having one guest on a month with PokeFlips, having maybe 1 or 2 guests on a month on my own channel here. The last time Pokemon went on a booster box reprint hiatus, what was the reason? Now it's because they want to put more ancillary products into the hands of more people. What was it last time? I was around last time. I don't remember. I don't really know. I'm not the good channel that will tell you every day, every week, every month what's going on. And I actually listened to why am I blanking? Anon TCG he goes by? Yes, Anon TCG. I listened to almost all his videos. He has clearly way more distributor accounts than I have. He gets way larger allocations than I get. And I think there's been some history where he hinted towards some reprints that didn't come to fruition. But I never take anyone's content as gospel. I hope nobody takes mine as gospel. I know Timmy McGee's going to say something on that. This is not a sermon. I'm not a preacher. I'm just some dude on the internet who's detailing his journeys. And so is Anon. And I think anyone is going to be fallible. Anyone could be fed bad information. So I think he has history a ways back where he made a couple calls and then the things didn't happen that he thought was going to happen. I don't even remember. I don't frankly care that much. But he's been hinting at for a while now, potentially getting in March some amount of like large amounts of booster box reprints. It wouldn't be surprising. I'm not like betting everything on that happening, but I'm expecting that to happen. I would have expected that to happen barring the information, but hearing someone who's pretty like ear to the ground, pretty like in the in crowd when it comes to that kind of information, he goes to like some of the different distribution events. He just has way more contact with distros than I do. So it feels like he has relatively good information. But we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. I can't tell you exactly why or even when that was exactly, but people get these things in their mind. I guess it was maybe the chilling rain and the fusion strike and as I walk through the valley of $79.95 booster boxes, I fear no evil, the whole PK thing. That can happen again at any time. A lot of people are guaranteeing, a lot of people are saying never going to happen. MSRP, this, that, and the other thing. Nobody knows. Nobody knows what's going to happen. Nobody has any control over what's going to happen. I'm just along for the ride. Hopefully we'll get Mason. Hopefully we get Mason of Cardinal fame himself on here someday. I need to figure out a system. Nick and I are really bad. Nick and I are really bad at planning guests. We have a list. I actually have a list over here of like guests to potentially get on PokeFlips at some point. And some of them I talk to, and it's like we just have them on that week. It works out where we get them on that week. Sometimes we build a backlog of like 3 or 4 people and we schedule them out over a few months, and we take 3 or 4 months to get them done. But I guess it's worked out. Like we've had a lot of great guests on. We're going to have a lot more great ones on in the future. But I kind of want to get to where I'm a little bit better at planning it, send them an actual calendar invite of some kind that includes the StreamYard link. I don't know. I need to think of something that flows better. I'm a big planner. I heavily utilize Google Calendar for all my different calls and all my different times and days that I have to do different things. And I'm lost without my Google Calendar. So I need a clean way, because it's kind of difficult. It's kind of difficult to coordinate amongst all these different people with their own busy lives and finding common times to do streams. Some people are full-time, some people are part-time side hustlers, some people have kids, some people don't, all the travel, all the different things that go on. It's difficult, but I want to do it. You've made some bad calls too, Dan. Destin going to MSRP. Don't buy Moonbrown at 300. The list goes on. Yes, proving my point. I never said don't buy Destin at 300. I said I'm not buying Destin at 300, and here's why. But I'm also not selling 4 cases of Destin because it could do anything. I have no clue. I have said in the past. I have said in the past. I have videos that I will never delete where I said I think $1,000 is like the highest of all the Umbreon VMAX will ever be. And that aged very poorly. I am a fallible human, sadly. So yeah, don't take anything I say as gospel. Don't take anything anyone says as gospel. Think for yourself. Use people's experiences. Use people's conversations, the things that they're doing and saying and whatever. You use that as a form of education, entertainment, whatever you want to do with it, and then combine everything that you take in and everything you believe for yourself, and then make your own personal decisions from all that. Let's see. Wasn't Team Up the last major set they skipped a reprint for? Probably. Team Up was definitely one. Like, part of the reason why it's so expensive is because I believe it didn't get like a major reprint. But there were probably more of them. Did they do a major reprint of Rebel Clash? I don't think so. Sword Shield Base, maybe they did, but I don't believe so. Again, I was there. I had allocation from Distro. I just don't have I don't have a great memory to remember all that. This is actually timely. I watched Rusty's video just like an hour or two ago. So I heard rumblings. I'm kind of like in the know on some things. I've been around for a while. I know quite a few people, and I had the chance to send some of the first boxes out to be booster box graded by this company, being facilitated through Golden. I forget the acronym. Of course, it's a 3-letter acronym because we love those things. But yeah, Rusty, go check out Rusty's video. Let me actually link it. TCA Gaming YouTube. Shout out to Rusty. He made a video risking $200,000 worth of new market ? He broke, or he's having them break Evolve in Sky's booster cases. 1 first print, 1 second print, unlimited print, whatever you want to call it. And then he's sending multiple base set booster boxes to be graded. They're going to encapsulate it. They're going to CT scan it to verify. There's different service options where you can like have it detailed, I believe, what's inside of it, the actual cards inside of it. And then there's ones where you can just verify, like Golden. Golden had some boxes auctioned where they said there's between 8 and 14 hollows, or 9 and 14 hollows, or whatever. So there's different levels that you can do. I had the opportunity to send some stuff to that. I didn't have any big high-end WotC boxes. I thought about buying some. Hindsight, I should have bought some WotC boxes, sent them to that, had the first ones graded, auctioned them on Golden. Probably would have been very lucrative in hindsight, but like, we're booming. I'm doing a lot of other things that are doing very well for me. It's an easy, obvious thing to say in hindsight, especially because the box itself, the boxes themselves would be up 50% or more. But in the future, maybe I'll do it. We'll see where it goes. I do have a lot of cases that I could potentially send to get the case break, annotation, or whatever you would call it. So people love their stuff in plastic. Like I have envision it like this. So this is in an acrylic case. Envision just this, and then you either sonically weld it, or you put some kind of a label over it that says the grade, that says the date, that says whatever, the cert number, all that different stuff. And then it's basically tamper sealed. It would be a good way to comfortably buy a box for a booster box break. Will people at the CT scanning company have some amount of insider information? Oh, that has a Lovebirds, that has a Gengar Mimikyu, that has a Moonbreon, that one doesn't have a Moonbreon. There's going to be layers, as with everything. There's going to be consistently inconsistent. There's going to be all different kinds of stuff. Mason says you have enough money with Dan without grading booster boxes too. There is such a thing as enough. I have more than enough. But like, I need to do something to pass my time, right? My kids are at school for 180 days a year for the next 10 years. My wife is going to be teaching for the whole time that they're at school, I believe. So I need something to pass the time, and it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun rolling the die with the grading card companies, throwing the dart at the dartboard, the spinning dartboard after doing a bunch of dizzy bats, after shotgunning a couple IPAs. I believe that's how they grade these days. You got a spinning dartboard, 1 to 10. You've got a blindfold. You've got some dizzy bats. You throw a dart at the wall, consistently inconsistent. I can't wait for consistently inconsistent booster box grading. I'm very, very excited. Let's see. And so I guess I did front the money. To be clear, this is me fronting $10,000 on this box to give away Friday for the Fanatics live stream. But Fanatics is reimbursing me for that. So shout out to Fanatics for providing $30,000 worth of giveaways for Friday. With that, I mean, it's free real estate. Why don't I, how do I do this again? I'm going to show you, I showed you one variant of the live stream promo. I'm going to show you PK's variant now. So PK has his very own special one. One thing, PK's is better. One thing I liked about what they did with PKs is they showed a lot of the grails and the chases that are going to be available on Pokemon Day and the instant rips. So let me share a screen. Let me share a window. Let me toggle system sounds. We're gonna everyone can thank Kevin Clear for being my segue into a little more self promo. But I'm sharing the audio here. This is another 30-second ad video that Fanatics had made. This is PK only, though. This is PK only, and it shows a bunch of slabs that are available in instant rips among the ones that we're giving away. So here we go.
Tune in on Pokemon Day, February 27th, here on Fanatics Live. We're going to be doing an absolutely awesome mega stream where we're going to be chasing a Grail of Grail, a PSA 9 Shadowless Charizard, but more importantly, we're doing 30 for 30. $30,000 worth of giveaways to celebrate Pokemon's 30th anniversary, streaming live from the Fanatics headquarters in New York City, February 27th. See you all there later.
There we go. So I wanted to get both of those ads in. I think Fanatics did a great job. I think they farmed it out. I forget what the company was that they farmed it out to, but I think they did a great job. They did a great job with the little 30-second ads. Posted them as a reel, posted them as a short. Shout out to Poke Prophet. He actually played within the first minute of his video. He played it. I got Poke Beard to share it on Instagram. I got Top 10 Pokemon to share it on as a YouTube short. I got It Was Never a Phase cards. I actually shout out to TJ. I didn't watch his video yet today, but I think he puts one out every day. Let me see. I think he played it in today's video too. Oh man, I'm gonna miss some people. I was on the pump though. I had that video making its rounds. I think PK's got it on Instagram. I think he's got a little ad going on Instagram. Let me see. Do I see it in here? Oh no, I don't know if I made it in. Maybe it's tomorrow's video of TJ's, but It Was Never a Phase cards. So we had him on PokeFlip some time ago. He's blowing up. He's doing the viral thing. He goes live every time there's like a drop on Walmart or a drop on Pokemon Center. He does like the daily market update, TCG player chart, whatever it may be. He does like the more viral type content. So I have to lean on my viral influencer friends and acquaintances to pump the viral edited video promos for the big live streams. Oops. You fronted Fanatics about to leave down on red. No, they've been very good to me. If you had to bankrupt anyone's operation in Pokemon, who's your number one pick? I don't like to root against anybody. I guess if anyone is doing criminal things, I don't follow all the negative drama type content. I'm not saying that in like it's a bad thing. I think it's a good thing to call out scammers and people breaking the law and all that kind of thing. So I would pick some operation that I don't even know their name that is just screwing people over left and right, breaking laws and all different kinds of things. So I would pick them. But as far as like if you're doing things, if you're not the thing that I always say, going back to our Declaration of Independence, if you're not infringing on another's right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, if you're not breaking laws, if you're not being an ass, basically, I hope the best for you. Like, everyone is gonna see things different ways. Everyone is gonna do things in their own way, and I'm fine with that. But the second that you start lying, cheating, stealing, any of those things, no bueno. Bankrupt, please. That's my answer to that, I guess. And thankfully, I don't interface with any people that would meet those thresholds. I don't really know of any in the hobby that meet those. So yeah, I hope to never be on a first name basis with anyone that I would be wishing ill upon. Let's see. Hidden Fates Charizard versus 151 Charizard, same price in PSA 10. I'm not a huge fan of the graded premium. I am short on plastic, long on cardboard. I would sell the PSA 10. I would buy the sealed product. I would rather have 151 over Hidden Fates currently, just because it's at that time going out of rotation. I think 151 is going to pop a lot more. So if I have to go with a slab, I'm going to say the 151 slab, but it's going to be more of a momentum play. I think it's already starting to pop a little bit. But yeah, let me continue on the old questions. Is content creation necessary to grow an online Pokemon business these days? I'm mostly flipping singles. I don't have time to be a vendor, but I want to keep growing. Absolutely not. This is one of the most common questions that I get in my consults. And I do consults. I raised my rates significantly. Supply demand exists. Moving ahead, I am doing $300 for an hour or $200 for a half hour. I know Brad G Cards, my Helga will be very upset with those numbers, but I had to slow the amount that they were being requested. I couldn't keep up with them. So if you're interested in that, that's there. But as I said, that's like the one-on-one fee. The Patreon is there for $10 a month, and you get access to me actually tomorrow morning. Tomorrow morning, I'll be live from 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. Eastern. I will be in office hours, as I am every Thursday. And then Saturday night, I'm going to be live on a Zoom call, me and Jake, and we're going to be talking about a deep dive on my live stream operation. So those layers are there with the spending, and then it's free. It's free here every week moving ahead on YouTube and every other week on PokeFlips. But very common question. I always say that, like, people ask me two different ways. Dan, how valuable is your YouTube, your Instagram to your business? Massive. I lean into them because those are my strengths. My strength is that I am a known face, a known trusted face name brand. So I lean into them heavily. Lean into your strengths. So if you are a business who has one, it's probably a large portion of your business. But the amount of people that I consult with, the amount of people that I just know in general that don't have a big YouTube, don't have a big Instagram, they might not have any, and that are crushing, whether they're vending, whether they're grading, whether they're slab optimizing, whatever they're doing, they're crushing in many ways without it. So it's not a hard requirement, but if you have one, there's a lot of pros to it. There's some cons to it as well. So yeah, definitely by no means a necessity. I think some people see my operation, they see other people's operations that are largely based off their following and stuff, and they get very disheartened that that's the only way to go. But inherently, you will never see the people that you won't see, right? Like that's just the way that it is. So even though you see me, you see guys like Pokey Profit, you see guys like It Was Never a Phase, you see guys like ZNG Emporium when he decides to put the sunglasses on and come out and do a car rant. We utilize and have utilized our followings a lot in the past, Instagram, YouTube, wherever. But by no means is it a requirement. And for every one of us you see, is it 10? Is it 100? Is it 1,000 people that are doing business without one? I don't know what the numbers are, but there's a lot of them. There's a lot of them, and they outnumber us. And there are people doing massive numbers without any name face. They would not be known whatsoever in the space. Let's see. I'm starring more things as I go to make sure I don't miss anything. And I am answering them in order. I see a couple questions being asked multiple times. I will get to them eventually. One thing I say, though, too, if you want to skip the line, 99-cent super chat, and you will be answered first. You will skip the line. So a little bit of pay to win. Does it surprise you how much 151 has exploded already, especially with it still being in rotation? Packs hitting 20, bundles 142, blooming waters 250. It's getting nutty. $725 UPCs. Yes. One constant over the past 12 years. Pokemon has always surprised me the speed at which it's gotten to numbers. Does it shock me that a 151 UPC is worth 725? Someday, not overly. 10, 20 years, eventually I would have said, yep, 725 for sure. Bought them for $70, $80, as many as you wanted. A summer, like a year and a half ago, and now a year and a half later, 2 years later, they're 725. The rate at which it happened blew my mind. If you told me it was going to happen over 10, 20 years, okay, sounds fine. That seems bullish, but sounds fine. But it happened in 2 years. We are booming, as they say. What Timmy can rage bait red light Dan into reality? I need some highlights to watch in the morning. Timmy always trying to get the red lights firing. Destined Rivals is turning a year in May, and Pokemon refuses to do a single reprint of ETBs or booster boxes. Why? They have a lot to print. They have to print Prismatic. They have to print their. They don't have to, but they are printing 151 for some reason relatively recently. I don't know. I frankly I don't know. Maybe they are. Maybe they are printing airplane hangers full of Destined Rivals. That's what people said about base set, right? Airplane hangers full. Maybe they are printing and stocking airplane hangers full, and maybe they're dumping them all in March. Maybe they're dumping them all in May. I have no clue. Whatever they're printing, it's all selling instantly. Distros have no stock. Walmart, Target, wherever has no stock. We're booming. So I don't know. Nobody knows. But I think if I had to bet one way or the other, as I've said for the past year, and I've been wrong, I think they'll print more of them. I think the prices will come down. I think the loose packs eventually will be under MSRP. But I'm open to being wrong. I've been wrong so far. I might be wrong into eternity. And this might be the first set to buck the trend of every set being available well under MSRP, like significantly under MSRP. We'll see, though. That's what makes it interesting. We don't know. Hey, Dan, do you think the increase in people investing in Pokemon boxes that will stunt longer-term growth, or because the pool's grown similarly that it won't necessarily affect sealed growth? It 100%. When you invest in a sealed product and you carry, whether it's boxes or cases or pallets into the future, investors do two things. Short-term, they inflate the price, and long-term, they deflate the price. The extent to which they do that is the unknown. So, for example, if you 22 years ago, you could have bought from Hills Wholesale Gaming, you could have bought $30 base set booster boxes. And some people did. I sadly wasn't one of those people. But people buying those then, eventually, enough of them got bought. Hills raised their price in the short term. They went from 30 to 40 to 50 to 100 to what they are now, $30,000 or whatever. But because some people back then bought cases. Some people back then, and Hills themselves, bought it and blow out whatever closeout. They carried some amount of product into the future, and then if those cases, if those pallets weren't transported into the future, the availability would be significantly lower, and the price would be even higher than it is now. So like every time a new case, when Rusty carries cases or tens of cases into the future and then eventually sells them, that years later lowers the price, right? So it's going to have some effect, but how much is what people will argue, and I don't know. The way that I characterize it as the immovable object, which is the mountains of product, 12 billion plus cards a year, and the unstoppable force, which is, look at the pop reports of the chase cards, 1 in 1,000, 1 in 2,000 pack pull rate, and there's 10,000 graded. That's 10 million booster packs just for the ones that were graded. What about the ones that weren't graded? I've got videos about that. I've got Zoom calls about that in the Patreon. Who knows? A lot of people claim to know. A lot of people act like they know. They guarantee things. They say always. They say never. They say guaranteed. They have no clue what they're talking about. Let's see. Scrolling back up, hitting all my stop signs, and then continuing on. Where are we? If Pokemon gave you a call to be some sort of high-level job, but you can't resell anymore, what are you doing? Run the hypothetical however you please. I would have to make a stupid amount of money. I would have to make multiples of what I'm making right now. Frankly, I'm making kind of a stupid amount of money right now. I would have to make a 7-figure salary to take back a chemical engineering job, which would never happen. I am not marketable at the rate that I would have to be paid to go back to working for someone else. There's no like, and I've talked with people who have aspirations to someday like get a job in the industry, and they would take a 6-figure, multi-6-figure job in the industry. I don't want to work for someone else. I don't have dreams to do that. I have dreams to continue doing what I'm doing, and to become financially independent, fat fire hopefully, and then just be able to do whatever I want to do for the next hopefully 50 years plus. What do you think of booster box free rating? I touched on that one. If you could play any instrument, what would it be? What genre would you specialize in? I don't really care to play an instrument. My dad had a guitar at some point when I was younger. I used to play around with that a little bit. I can still play. My kids got recorders recently at school. I have my recorder from my childhood somewhere. I can still play Hot Cross Buns on the recorder. So shout out to my music teacher back in 3rd grade, I want to say. I remember we had to bring in $5 to pay for our recorder. We all got a recorder we could take home. I think I can still do Mary Had a Little Lamb and Hot Cross Buns. So I'm quite the musician. But like playing a guitar, playing piano, playing like, I don't know. I guess it would be interesting, but I don't really care to. But I guess guitar and country music. Do you have any recommendations for collectible insurance companies for business and personal? I'm assuming a business is more of an overall blanket policy. Yeah, I use collectible insurance services. Search insurance on my channel. Go into my channel, go into my backlog of videos, search insurance. I have a 25-minute video talking about insurance. And I'll make another one in the future sometime. I did that one. I forgot to remove it. Kimdred Lego says, Dan, I have an uncomfortably large position in Prismatic. Thought it but Ascended came out, and the set is more cracked than Prismatic. I'm worrying now, and there are reprints coming. Any advice? I mean, you need to take into account your cash flow, your entire situation. Are you cash basis, accrual basis? If you sell, are you gonna have to pay taxes on it? I've been largely waiting on investing in too much Prismatic over the past year. I think it will be cheaper in the future. I could be wrong though. That's one thing going against Destined. That's one thing going against Ascended. That's one thing going against Prismatic. One thing going against every set is next set, best set. To some extent, like people are forgetting about, not everyone clearly, some people are forgetting about Destined though. Because Prismatic, because Ascended is there, because Mega Evolution, Phantasmal Flames, and the next set, and the next set. Next set, best set will always be a thing. And there's a risk that Prismatic could drop 50% across the board. What odds do I think that will happen? I don't know. A lot of people I think the odds are a lot higher than they think they are. But one thing that I constantly say is if you take a set like 151, if you take a set like Sword Shield, Evolving Skies, if you take a set and it's out of rotation already, or much nearer to out of rotation, I think most times the odds of it doubling are significantly higher than a set like Destined, which Destined has doubled in the past year. So I guess proven wrong again. But I think the odds of a set like that doubling are higher, and I think the odds of them halving are lower. So generally speaking, I think the EV, my expected value in investing in a set amount of dollars into an item like that in the future, are higher in the older, more nearly out of print set. I could be wrong though. Like the way that I navigate it is I have a little bit of everything. The things that I like more, I have more of. When Crown Zenith 14 months ago, I could buy for $350 a pack. I bought 15,000 packs. I might have only had 2,000 packs of 151 at the time. I might have only had 1,000 or 2,000 packs of Prismatic at the time. Prismatic I was selling for $14 a pack. I was trying to keep 0 Prismatic in stock at $14 a pack because I thought it was way too damn high. I couldn't keep 0 because I needed to have it logistically. I needed to keep PK and Punga stock for the live streams. But if something feels like it's going to go down, I try to have less. If something feels like it's going to go up, I try to have more. Ascended. I'm not trying to stockpile too much Ascended right now, but I do have a couple cases of ETB set back because it's hard to get ETB cases. I get them first wave. I get them allocated to me for my distros, and then I have to go into the open market if I want more, and it's tough. So I'm doing my best navigating it all. It's a million moving parts: the live streams, the consigning, the all the things moving, and I don't stress over timing every top and bottom perfectly because you never will. I'm trying to just hit single after single, double after double. I'm not going all in trying to hit a home run or a grand slam. I'm just trying to get on base. And our slugging percentage is well over 1,000. I believe the way slugging percentage works. Our on base percentage very, very high, if not 100%. Highlighting more questions. Stop sign question. Is Cam Bates the reason for the boom? Yes. Consign today. Question, who is your go-to consignment service for sealed and singles now? So sealed would be Golden and DC Sports 87. Singles, I sell through live streams, and slabs, I sell through Ketchum All Collectibles. Shout out to Ketchum All Collectibles. You can consign with him on Fanatics. He just recently had a record sale for a consigner of a $60,000 glossy Ivy Pikachu. Let's see. Here we go. Cooley Bear says, when you sell higher value items you've had for a longer period, do you have a separate inventory list / documentation for reporting sales eligible for capital gains tax rate? Yes. I itemize certain items to my accountant, and in the past, some of these items include, but are not limited to, all my trophies. All my Pikachu full art trophies I owned for longer than a year, and they fell into like long-term capital gains. I had a victory orb that fell into that. I have more items that would fall into that on any given year, but at some point, like tracking them individually, like most things that I buy and sell are turned and burned within under a year, but occasionally it happens. So if and when I do that, I do itemize those separately. I pull those out for my sales, and I show the date and the purchase amount. And so like when I buy, I don't have it behind me right now. It's headed to a vault. But my PSA 10 Burn Tower that I was showing off recently that I bought, that one will get a spreadsheet, a date, and an amount purchased. And I'll probably sell that more than a year from now. And I'll probably sell that for a lot more than I paid for it. And yeah, instead of paying the marginal rate, which in this market, boom, I'm flirting with some of the highest tax brackets. In New York State, the federal max is 37%. In New York State, the state max is 7%. Add on FICA taxes. I'm an S Corp, so my FICA taxes are limited to my first X amount that I pay myself a reasonable salary. But still, I mean, my first X amount of income that I earn, my last X amount of income that I earn is taxed in the 40+%. So if you're able to claim long-term capital gains on some amount of that, some subset of your sales, that can be very advantageous. If you're at the lower brackets anyways, it might be a wash. It might be the same thing. I mean, if you're married filing jointly and you have kids and you have all the different things, the standard deduction, and you might be paying at the 10% rate. You might be paying functionally 0% taxes. So everyone's situation is different, but that is something that I do indeed do. Question, how would you scale a singles flipping business today with limited time, but with a dream to maybe make it full time? I would grind. So shout out to PK. Over a year ago, he went full time. February 1st, 2025, he went full time. Between October 4th, 2024, when we started Fanatics, and February 1st, 2025, when he went full time, PK was grinding a 50-hour-a-week full-time job, and he was simultaneously grinding probably 50 hours a week on live streams and YouTube and all that stuff on Fanatics. It was tough, I'm sure. Ask him about it. It was crazy. but he was proving to himself that it could be done, and he was lowering his risk by lowering his sleep temporarily to prove to himself that it would work. And I think that's an amazing way to go. I did the same myself. I 2014 to 2021, I was both a chemical engineer and a side hustling Pokemon guy. And I didn't quit my job until I side hustled my way into income replacement. Basically, I was making more on the side doing Pokemon than I was making full time as an engineer. So that is the way that I did do it. That is the way that PK did do it. That is the way that I would do it again. Not everyone can do that, but it is a pretty easy way to recommend because it gives yourself a lot of runway. I paid off all my debt, all the other stuff, but that is how I did do it. That is how I would do it again. And if you can't do that one-to-one, like the most you can, the closest you can get to that, the more, like a lot of businesses fail because they don't give themselves much runway. One little hiccup, one little issue, and then they're insolvent. Their cash flow goes to zero and they have to close up shop basically. Most businesses fail quickly because of cash flow issues. And yeah, give yourself more runway. Oh, I got that one already. I got that one already too. Multiple ask questions. People trying to jump the line without paying the 99-cent fee. Clyder says cheaper. It was already cheap. How much cheaper do you want Prismatic to be? As cheap as possible. I've bought 151 for under $5 a pack. I've bought Crown for under $4 a pack. I've bought Evolving for under $4 a pack. I have bought every set in Pokemon's history for under $3 a pack. Do I think I will buy Prismatic for under $5? I truly do. I actually bought it. I think the lowest I've paid for Prismatic so far, there was a short window where I want to say I bought about 5,000 packs at $6.50 a pack. I think was my lowest that I got it. Hindsight, if I could go back then, I would have bought. Well, I probably bought all the ones that were offered to me, but clearly I would have bought more at $6.50, $7.50 if I knew it would go up in the short term. But yeah, as the price goes down, if and as the price goes down, I'll buy more. And if and as the price goes up, I'll slowly unwind my position. If and when it runs away from me and I miss out on it forever, I will miss out with only 5,000 packs of Prismatic or 8,000 packs of Prismatic. And it'll go to 20 and I'll just buy it for 16 when it's 20. I'll just buy it for 40 when it's 50. I'll just buy it for 80% of market and sell it for like that. That's just, I don't care that much if I miss out on something because it will always be there available. I can still actually... So someone botted the hell out of Charizard UPCs. I'm not the guy doing it. I'm getting Scout myself. I have 3,000 loose packs of Evolving, and I also have a bunch of Brilliant and whatever Fusion and whatever the other sets are that came in the Charizard UPC. These things will be around, and people get so caught up in like I have to get like I have to be in Destined. I can't miss it. I don't care. I don't care about having like I have 4 cases of everything as the default that goes to the pallet because I don't know what's going to happen. But if I don't fully optimize everything, and this is where it's kind of mean to say it, but like people that have less and do less care so much more. It's kind of crazy. It's kind of wild. It's like, yeah, I don't know. I don't need to elaborate more. That's a dead horse that I've beaten too many times. Let's see. Kindred Lego says, do you think TPCI buying Excel brands and MPG expansion will increase supply before Prismatic goes out of rotation? Heard they reprinted Hidden Fates even after rotation. Thoughts? I think the one that kind of demonstrates how far they'll reprint the most is Evolutions. I think Evolutions, whether it was being reprinted or whether they just had printed so much and had it in airplane hangars that they were releasing it later, reprint, restock, I don't know. But Evolutions was coming out in collection boxes 4 years after release. People were so sick of XY Evolutions in early 2020. And then it boomed and it went crazy. But there's really no hard and fast rules. 2 years is like a general rule of thumb that people use. Rotation, which varies between 2 years and 2.5 years, 3 years, whatever. These are general rules of thumb, but like Pokemon can do whatever. I don't know that much, and I'm not sweating it. Like I think a lot of people get caught up in this analysis paralysis, and they just like, what if this, what if that? What? I don't know. I don't care. I set some back, the investments, the pallets. The only reason I set anything back is because I've scaled to the point where I have more cash flow than I can actively kind of like move. So it all depends on what you're doing, though. It all depends on what you're doing. I think a lot of people way too overanalyze, oversweat the details. It's like if you truly believe in all this, in the buckets and all the things that I do first, yada yada yada, all the things that I have to say, it's like figure out what you're doing in the space. If you're a buy it, set it, forget it, 5-10 years. I don't fully agree with the sentiment that Rudy and others push. Oh, when it's $1,000 a box, you won't care whether you paid 200 or 300 or 150. You would care. A good investor cares about their rate of return and all that stuff, and entry point and risk and all that stuff is kind of everything. But to some extent too, it's like, are you buying? Like, how much are you buying? Are you sweating a $500 decision with 50 hours of your life? Are you stressing and thinking that much over this? Like, think about the decision to the extent that it affects you, basically, and to the extent that you can control it, which none of us have any control over any of this. So, yeah, they could print Prismatic in 2028 with their 2028 new print square footage. They absolutely could do that. Historically, they've done it in the past. Maybe it was the exception, but like they can if they want to. If that makes you scared, if that like blows up your plan, if that, I don't know, like you should know that that's a chance. You should know there's a chance of Destined Rivals booster boxes going under MSRP. You should know there's a chance of Prismatic Evolutions ETBs, of Ascended Heroes ETBs going under MSRP. What are the percentages? People will allocate different percentages to that. Maybe I allocate too high of one, but if you allocate a 0% chance of Ascended Heroes ETBs or booster packs or whatever going under MSRP, you're wrong. Like, you might be right in that it might not ever go under MSRP, but to say it's impossible is categorically wrong today. No one can know that. No one can say that. No one has control over that. But people conflate outcome with correctness of decision. So like, I'm just old man yelling at the clouds. No one cares. The people who know, and the people who don't know will they guaranteed. Some of the same people guaranteeing Vivid Voltage would never go below 200 are guaranteeing today that Prismatic wouldn't go under MSRP, wouldn't go under this or that or the other thing. And they were clearly wrong last time. They clearly had no clue. Equally, similarly, they have no clue today, but they might broken clock right twice a day. They might accidentally be right, which is scary. It's kind of scary for the future when people that are this dumb get rewarded this much. It incentivizes bad things, and we'll see where it all goes. Let's see. These questions scare me. We're going to be live every week now, moving ahead. So, Dan, you're all poor. I don't remember saying that, but now I did say it. No, it's funny. I'll pick on myself here. I'll tease myself here. Back in 2011, I got my first job. I got my first job out of college. The only jobs that I had pre that were I had an internship for the company that I worked for out of college between junior and senior year. But I opened a 401k for the first time, and I was investing, and I'd never done IRAs. The only things I had before that were savings accounts and savings bonds. Never had S&P 500 or anything like that. And in 2011, I opened an account, and I used to have on my desktop, I used to have a Dow ticker and an S&P ticker. I used to check it all the time. Back when I had $100 in my 401k, $1,000 in my 401k, $10,000 in my 401k. I checked my 401k balance more times and for more total accumulated time between a balance of $0 and $50,000 than I have since. And I won't give what my balance is exactly today, but cumulatively across all those counts, nearing 7 figures, like very nearly nearing. I guess I kind of gave you what was in there. But between 50,000 and where it is today, I've checked it less cumulatively. And I think that's like just the way things go. And back in 2014, when I put $5,000 into the hobby, I was in E4 and I was watching, I guess not as much YouTube videos then, but I was hyper over analyzing everything. And it's like I was probably thinking about $50 buys more than I think about $50,000 buys today. And I guess at some point you kind of like grow out of it, because a lot of that is just pretty negative EV. It's pretty negative EV to sweat so profusely over such relatively small things, at least in my opinion. Again, always one guy giving his takes, giving his thoughts, giving his opinions. Has Dan snuck in a way to say obfuscate yet? I have not until now. Thank you, Brad. This is actually a hilarious question. How does one know on the spot that they can still play hot cross buns on a recorder? Do you test yourself quarterly? Yep, still got it. So, yeah, it was probably less than a year ago that one of my kids came home from school with a recorder, and I banged out that tune. So yes, I wouldn't say quarterly, but every couple of years, every move I go through a couple childhood totes, whatever. I get out Legos to give my kids. I get out whatever, some nostalgia blast, and I come across it, and I'm like, let me hit a quick hot cross buns, and it's always there, muscle memory. Oh, Brad, the Helga to my Arnold. How's it going, Ponga? Looking forward to seeing you on Friday at 3 p.m. Eastern to give away $30,000 of items on Fanatics Live with gold medalist, gold Olympic medalist, 8-time world champion Noah Lyles, and voice of Ash Ketchum, Sarah Natacheni. Question: if you buy using sales tax exemption and do cash sale eventually on it, which you forgot to log, what do you do for tax purposes? So if you do a cash sale, you report it like any other. You're not going to get a 1099 for it. But if you go to a show and you buy an item for $100 someday, and 2 years later you sell it for $1,000 cash, you just add that into your sales. You add that into your into the sales portion of your tax filing. I don't do my tax filings myself. I have an accountant that does it. So I just have a little summary that I send to my accountant, and I have a subset for cash sales. I have a subset for wires and ACHs and Zells that don't show up in any 1099, but you still have to report them. I don't know off the top of my head what capital gains taxes are. There is a special collectibles tax rate, but I'm an S corp, so the way that I pay, I basically just pay like everything flows through. I'm a pass through entity, I believe they call it. Mind you, I'm not a tax professional. Blah blah blah. Check out Not Your Dad's CPA. Consult your accountant. But I'm a pass through entity, and the income just flows through to me essentially. And yeah, collectibles long-term rate is cheaper than the highest marginal tax rates for an individual. And depending on how you do it, this is not financial tax advice, whatever, but there's a 15% long-term capital gains rate for things like stocks and otherwise. Are trading cards and booster boxes collectibles, and do they have to be entirely taxed at that 28% rate? Is there a way that an accountant can make an argument, finagle corporate assets could be taxed at a 15% long-term capital gains rate instead? That is not a question I am prepared to answer, but that is a conversation to have with an accountant, potentially. Question, follow-up to cap gains. How do you go about documenting cost basis of cap gains eligible items that were purchased as part of a larger collection? That's where it all gets very gray. It all gets very gray. If you buy a $50,000 collection and one card is a card that's 10 grand on card ladder, Well, if you bought the whole collection on average at 80%, it's reasonable to say you bought that $10,000 card letter card for $8,000. You could probably also make an argument, well, I actually paid 90% on high 4-figure, 5-figure cards, so I'm going to allocate $9,000 to that. But you need to have some form of logic that you consistently follow. You need to have what do they call them? You need to have records and substantiation to prove your method. And the only event that it would ever come up is in the event of an audit. So in the event of an audit, you need to have some forms of records and substantiation to prove why you had what you had, and then you'll be good to go. If you've been consistently inconsistent with your methods for doing that, maybe that will blow up in your face, but that's the way that I've done it, and that's the way that I understand it between me and my accountant. So consult with yours always. How do you address your shipping labels going to consignments like Golden and DC Sports that doesn't pique interest of people working in FedEx, UPS, USPS? People must know. I think worrying about shipments going lost is so overblown. USPS, UPS, FedEx are so good at their jobs. One thing that I don't do high insurance with the carrier. I have a insurance policy that covers anything that I put signature on without me having to put carrier insurance on it. So I only put signature on it. But I have shipped over $10 million inbound, outbound, probably tens of millions. Because last year, through all avenues, I sold about $9 million flew through my Chase account. $9 million flew through my Chase account. Well, that was like the sales. So some of those, like, they shipped to the vault on my risk, on my account, and then they were sold, and Fanatics owned the risk of that. But sometimes I buy $1 million worth of packs. They ship to me. I insure them on the way in. I insure them shipping them to PK and Ponga. And then, like, so multiple legs, I'm insuring the same stuff. Sometimes I'm double dipping, insuring the same $1 million worth of inventory for $2 million worth of stuff, essentially. So tens of millions of dollars worth of stuff. I've made one insurance claim ever for $13,000. And that's one of hundreds, thousands of shipments. Like, it is just overblown. I type in the address of Golden that they recommend I use. I type in the address of DC Sports, of whatever one I'm using. Let's see. 104 viewers. Can we get 100 likes? Appreciate you, X Factor, trying to pump up those numbers. Some goodies in the DMs. Oh, we got to pop these on screen. Okay. So, Ponga, am I fine? I'm sure I'm fine to show these on stream, right? I want to show these on stream right now, live. Oh, you named it 5. I already have a download named 5. I can't use that. 5 and 6? Come on. I got to throw a bunch of letters after that. So I'm going to show these live on screen. And we're going to see. We are going to go for gold. Where am I? OBS. Image. We are going for gold with no allows. I love this. I love this. So this is going to be on Instagram tomorrow. You guys are seeing it for the first time. Any feedback for Ponga? Any feedback for Mrs. Ponga? Should we make any adjustments? I love it. I think this is perfect. I think Fanatics will be thrilled. I'm going to tag Noah Lyles. 1+ million followers on Instagram, I believe. Hopefully we get a share out of him. I don't know if we will or not. But I am definitely going to pump that hard tomorrow. This is part of the reason I wanted to go live tonight, to do a little bit of extra pumping for the live stream. Now let me change it. So we have Noah Lyles there, and then we have Sarah Natacheni. I love them both. I love them both. Very, very big fan. Ponga, let me know what I owe you for these two very clean graphics. These wouldn't have felt out of place coming from the firm that Fanatics used to create our reel and stuff. I'm very pleased with those. Let wifey know. Dan's acting is getting a lot better. Time to go viral. Had a high school friend reach out and ask if the 30K of Givvies was a scam. I had a high school friend message me too. I had it was BB, I think, right? BB saw on his Facebook. He got a Facebook ad. Yeah, it was BB. He said his wife texted him and asked why she's seeing Dan on her Facebook feed. So Fanatics is on the pump. I mean, I'm on the pump for sure. You're gonna see it across mine and PK and like we're on the pump this week. But Fanatics is putting it out there too. Again, it was on Top 10 Pokemon. He posted a short. It was on PokeProfit. It was on it's on tomorrow, I believe. With it was never a phase. I'm gonna tag Pallet Town Pokemon. Pallet Town Pokemon Marketplace. I'm gonna tag Chris and Brennan, and they said they're gonna share it on their Instagram story. We are on the pump. 30Ks of giveaways. How could you not? I purposely try to get taxed at the highest possible rate just to feel something. Not financial advice to do that. Don't evade, avoid taxes as much as possible. Some of the ways that I avoid taxes legally are S corporation, saving heavily into solo 401k and IRAs in the years that I can, and then just writing off expenses, business use of home, internet, cell phone service, mileage, all that stuff. Lots of expenses out there. Celestial says, I can count on one hand the number of times I've had to do an insurance claim with USPS, UPS, FedEx in the last 8 years. People way overblow. Absolutely. Eonian says, question, sorry, don't understand. So you're insuring via what instead of the shipping insurance? I have a policy with Collectibles Insurance Services. I have a policy where if you put signature tracking on a package, it will be insured up to my limit. The best way to send something to Z&G is to instead send it to Ketchum All Collectibles at Fanatics. And the way that you do that is you send it to this address, and I pay you out actually a higher percentage for the same sale price that James does. Sorry, James. But no, you ship right to here. You message me and you say what you're shipping, and you ship it here. No submission form enclosed. Just let me know what you're shipping. Give me tracking number. Add signature tracking. It will be fully insured in transit to Oregon, where it will then be listed and sold with Fanatics. And just earlier today, I posted on Instagram a confirmed paid record sale. Where do I get this off my screen? Right there. I posted to my Instagram a confirmed paid record sale of $60,000. So we get records over here. I catch them all collectibles. I had to do it, James. I had to do it. I don't know if he'll see that if he watches back. But no, if you want to ship to James, you go to his website and you follow his instructions. Yeah, you ship with UPS or FedEx or USPS. Make sure you use the right address. I don't think he does inbound insured shipping. So at your own risk tolerance, either insure it or don't insure it. Or if you have your own policy, do whatever you need to do for that. But yeah. Stealing from James is crazy work. It's free real estate. I had to do it. James would get a kick out of that. Hopefully someone clips it and ships it to him. But at the end of the day, like, consign with me, consign with James. Either way, it is plus EV to consign with one of us, because you are getting rates that you will not get dealing directly with eBay or with Fanatics. I gladly shout out guys like James who are doing good, open, honest, transparent business, and yeah, just being a good, positive force in the space. Yeah. I don't currently consign sealed, but someday in the future, I hope to change that. Celestial says, do you think we get to a point where eventually TPCI has to consider sets a lost cause and are forced to move on without meaningful reprints? It's going to be strange if we get to Gen 10 and, oh no, there's a second part of it, and I didn't highlight the second part of it. And TPCI is still trying to print SV era while still juggling the new era and ME. It feels like they're getting further and further behind with each set release. This is unprecedented times. So never has there been a set that hasn't been widely available under MSRP, but also never has there been a 12-month period where no set was available for under MSRP. Never has there been a period where every single booster box is above 250. Phantasmal just hit 300 again. Unprecedented times. I truly don't know. There could be a chance where I am wrong on Destined going sub MSRP. There could be a chance where they give up on Destined and Journey and Black and White and XYZ and Prismatic, whatever. But the thing is, like, I don't know if that will come true, and I don't know what sets it will be. So for the live streams, I have to have some amount of all of them. And I think it's reasonable. If you know the risk, like, I don't care. I don't care if someone's all in on Destined Rivals with 100% of their net worth. I don't care if they have a business line of credit and they go all in on it on margin with someone else's money, max out their credit cards. I really don't care. The biggest thing that I hope people know, like, know the risks. There's a lot of people out there. I was actually just listening to a co-owner of Collecticon, Chris Camillo, big investor guy, big, like, lever up, take risks. You're young. You can make the money back later. I don't really agree with all that sentiment, but a lot of people do. And as long as you know the risks, though, if you say, Dan, I'm investing in Destined on leverage, on margin with other people's money because I know that it guaranteed will not go below MSRP, you're a moron. Like, you're dumb as hell. You probably deserve to lose your money, and you probably will lose all your money at some point in your life. But if you tell me, Dan, I'm YOLO GME, I'm YOLO on Bitcoin, I'm YOLO, like, I know the downside. I know that I could lose everything. And to be fair, with Destined, you won't lose everything. You might lose 50, 60, 80% of your money, but like you very low likelihood that Pokemon dies and it goes to zero functionally, right? Even dead TCGs, even OG MetaZoo, you can get a couple dollars a box for. So you probably won't lose everything. But if you say, I'm doing this, but I know the risks, I think there's only a 1% chance. I think there's only a 2% chance. And when you do the math on it, the EV is highly positive. It's like, okay, I don't agree with this guy. I don't agree with his sentiment, but he has a rational, logical brain to some extent underlying. He knows that, like, he's taking a risk of losing a lot. That's fine. I don't care. If you tell me you're at the casino and, oh, I've got a system. I've got a way to beat this Keno machine. I've got a way to beat this roulette wheel. I've got a way to beat this Baccarat dealer. I'm gonna run far away. If you guarantee Vivid Voltage won't go below XYZ price, I'm gonna run far away. If you guarantee Destined won't go below XYZ price, Ascended Heroes, Prismatic, I'm gonna run far away because you have no clue what you're talking about. You might be right, but you are very wrong. It is what it is. I can only have that rant so many times, but I will do it every week again. Okay, be real with me. Do you think Prismatic is a generational set like Evolving Skies? I'm gonna be real with you. Evolving Skies is not a generational set. Pokemon is only 30 years old. Pump the brakes a little bit. I think Evolving Skies is the most expensive set in its block. Will it be the most expensive set in its block in 10 years? I would lean towards yes, but I don't know. Fusion Strike could pass it. Some other Brilliant Stars could pass it. If you think that's impossible, Flashfire used to be the winner of XY era. And again, my history brain is not amazing. Team Up was not always. Burning Shadows was more hype in a lot of ways with the Charizard, and consumers are fickle. Demand is fickle. It changes. So I would go so far to say that, like, Evolving Skies, do I think in 10 or 20 years it might stand out? Yes. Do I think it has a better chance of standing out than Fusion? Yes. Can I guarantee it will? No. I think a lot of people, and I think this is asked in a way that you're almost like certain it's going to be Evolving Skies. It's going to be the set from Scarlet Violet. We don't know that. Legendary Collection Fireworks were seen so negatively. People hated Legendary Collection when it came out. People hated it for a long time. Back when I got in the hobby in 2014, they were more of a thing, and they've gotten crazy lately. But demand is very fickle. So yeah, I have no clue. Frankly. I think it's good. I think it's good for today. I think for a while it was the best set of all time. But then Journey was the best set of all time. Then Destined was the best set of all time. In 20 more years, at the 50th anniversary, will we think and talk about Evolving Skies? Maybe, but like maybe not. Maybe they're serialized cards. Like we have no clue what's coming. One thing that we can be fairly certain of between now and 20 years from now, between now and 10 years from now, and you said the word generational. Dan, why are you talking about 10, 20 years? Because you said the word generational. I didn't say that. When you talk generational, you're talking over decades. I think there's a decent chance in 20 years of all these guys. Was that the one? Was that the one? Like, I can't really remember. It'll blend in. It'll blend in the same way Undaunted and Unleashed blend in Heart Gold Soul Silver era. It'll blend in worse than that because it'll be older than that. I don't know. But, yeah. How do you feel about single-digit low-pop cards like Hollows from DP sets? They're very, very expensive. I don't value them that much. I think most low-pop PSA 10s from Diamond Pearl sets are PSA 9s that got lucky. Frankly, most PSA 10s that are single-digit pop, that are English set cards, most of them are PSA 8s or PSA 9s that got lucky. Most of them are ugly cards. I've graded some myself. I've popped some cards myself. I've popped 3'd some cards that did not deserve to be a 10. I think PSA, CGC, BGS, I think they're all very consistently inconsistent, and I don't remotely value the graded premium that people thrust upon those cards. I think it's obscene. A white dot being worth 10 times more, 20 times more, 30 times more, and a lot of times the white dot is still there because the card just got lucky. So that's my true unfiltered feelings about low pop cards. Most of them are frauds. Most of them are 10s in label only. They're not 10 by card quality. So yeah, probably got more than you bargained for there. I'm almost caught up on chat. It is almost midnight. I'm going to be wrapping up soon. I appreciate everyone being here. I am probably going to close I'm probably going to close with one more play of my promo, one more play of my ad. So yeah, we are going to do that in the next couple of minutes as I finish the last question or two. But I'm going to open this. There we go. So I'm going to wrap up in the next couple of minutes because I'm caught up on questions. But insanely based and an accurate take there, Dan. It's just a new bulk grader assigning a 10 for an 8, 9, and an old cert. Yeah, I don't care. So some people get really hung up on 12 certs, 14 certs. The funny thing is, when 14 certs will be old certs in 5 years, we'll be on 34 certs. 14 certs will be gross, the same way 2 certs and 4 certs are gross. I've been around since 2 certs were modern. Next cert, best cert, it exists there too. I've been around when 2 certs were strong and 0 certs were bad. I've been around when 4 certs were strong and 2 certs were bad. Wait till 5-10 years pass, and your 14 certs and your 16 certs and your 12 certs, they're gross and they're disgusting and they're vintage and they're missing the Lighthouse 3D, 4D, 6D, holographic, hologram, projected PSA label. The whole grading thing is a massive joke. I love it. It's a joke where the punchline is I make tons of money. So I love the joke. I'm not mad at the joke before someone says cry about hating third-party graders. I love it. But no, like most super low pop things just got relatively lucky. I've seen of the 125 PSA 10 base first Charizards, I've probably seen in person 10 of them, if not slightly more. Not seen in person. I've seen high-res images of them. More than that. Most of them are not 10s. And some people, 2 cert, because they wouldn't be. No. Like some of the 12 cert ones aren't 10s. Some of the 4 cert ones aren't 10s. Some of the 2 cert ones aren't 10s. If they're super low pop and the print quality was very bad, most of them are very bad. But yeah, let me I have yours starred. Eonian. WDYT, what do you think? What do you think about celebrations now? Bought ETB at 200, hasn't gone up much versus SVE era post-surging stuff, but it's heading to the 30th anniversary. Is it a good time to sell now at peak attention? I think it's a great time to sell anything right now at peak attention, yes. All depending on your goals and your cost basis and your cash versus accrual and your future prospects and what are you going to do with the money and yeah, all those things. I just looked into collect and sure the pricing looks okay. How do you set your amount considering how it might grow or decrease within the year? Any tips? My tips are don't listen to a guy on YouTube. My tips are call with them. Watch my video, search my video, watch a 20-minute video where I detail all my thoughts around insurance and have a deep conversation with them. Have a deep conversation with them. Read the entire contract. Read all the fine print. Do not take advice from a guy on YouTube. That is who I use. I use them and they've worked well for me. But like, do your due diligence, especially with something like insurance. If every next set is best set, then are only anniversary sets like Generations and Celebrations the exception, since they are in a special small category even in 10 or 20 years? No, I don't know. I think to some extent everything has a chance to fade away into oblivion. Nice thing about anniversary ones is they'll be thought about every 5 or 10 years as the anniversaries hit again. But everything has some risk of fading away into obscurity. But yeah, with that, I have caught. Why hasn't anyone sued PSA yet for changing its grading standards over time, making it harder to get PSA 10s compared to the 2 certs that generally look considerably worse? That's a very bad question. You can't sue somebody for their opinion. They are third-party professional opinion renderers, and they are read their fine print. They're covered. I promise you, they're covered everywhere. But at the end of the day, like, that's all it is. It's an opinion, and there are mistakes made every day. Even today, there are 10s that do not deserve 10s in 14 certs. And in 10 years, 14 certs will be joked about as being so weak. So it's hilarious how people have the whole 2 cert, 4 cert vintage thing. But anyways, with that, I digress. Join us Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern. We are going for gold with Noah Lyles. We are celebrating 30 years with Sarah Natacheni. And I'm going to leave you in closing with sharing screen. How do I do it again? Share screen, window, Fanatics. Include the audio. I'm going to put myself away too. So with that, I will catch you all later, and I will leave you with this parting ad. Be there Friday. Be there Friday. Link in description. $30,000 in giveaways. And I will leave it with PK, Ponga, and myself. How do I remove myself? There. I'm going to end the stream after this. I will catch you all later. Thanks for hanging out.
We will be streaming live.
Live in New York City.
It's a 30 for 30.
We are giving away $30,000.
$30,000.
There'll be $30,000 of giveaways for 30 years of Pokemon.
And not only are we going to be doing a ton of huge giveaways, we're going to be chasing a PSA 9.
$10,000.
Shadowless Besa Charizard.
All you have to do is show up, be there live in the stream.
Friday, February 27th.
And team up with Ketchum Collectibles and Fanatics Live to evolve your collection today.